No. Okay. Now we're recording. So I'm recording this so that we can use it as a reference. I'll post it on my YouTube channel. And if there's something that you like or you kind of want a reminder, you can always go back and look at it, and I can share it with people, and you could share it with people or whatever. So, but doing it live, you guys got the invite to be here. So I'm very, very grateful. We're all very grateful that you guys are here. I don't think I can say that enough, because that's like a really big part of this for me, is being on this journey, being able to help other people learn and do this has been probably the biggest thing for me. Not only to be able to share it, but it keeps me on my journey. It keeps me honest. And I don't love to work out still. I still don't love it. I do it because I have to. I do it because I finally learned what works for me. I wasn't an athlete. I didn't work out. I danced, but a few times a week. It wasn't anything like competitive or challenging. But I just didn't have that kind of background. So when I was looking for something to get me on track, especially after having Mason, I didn't really connect with anything. I didn't like going to the gym, and kudos to anybody that loves to go to the gym. But I'm just like, if it's going to take me time to go there, I'm just going to find every excuse that I can not to do it. So here I am. And if you've seen any of my before and after pictures, I've lost 70 pounds.
Awesome.
Somewhere around like 38 to 40 inches. I didn't even know that was like on my body. I didn't know that happened to me. I was just like, I need to feel better. And like, all of a sudden it just started happening. But mostly because I had a program to stick with. I had an eating plan to stick with that I was able to maintain as a lifestyle. I learned how to do it every single day. And with me learning it, it affected my family. Then my husband got on track. We're raising Mason to have a good baseline of health. And that's really, really important to me. Being able to affect families, affect our children, because there's so much junk in advertising out there that this is a huge, huge deal for me, is being able to put something positive into families' lives so that they can make that change for them. But, and then having the support, and having the support 24/7, 365. I have not gone a day without support in 3 years. Through one group or another, through the coaches that are above me, the coaches that, you know, have their own teams, and the ones that work with me directly inside our groups. I would not be here if it wasn't for all of you guys. I wouldn't still be here. I don't know where I would be, but it just kind of is the thing that all came together for me. I'm a nurse. I care about health. I'm a cancer survivor, and I needed to have that other little piece of that holistic view. This is truly mind, body, spirit for me. And this just brought it all together for me. So I don't want to make it sound too, you know, like, universal or anything, but we end up where we're supposed to be. And I found out in my life that the more I try and push a certain direction, the more the universe kicks me in the butt and says, nope, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it puts me where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. And somehow that has landed all of us here as well. So whatever you get out of this, I'm grateful that you're here. And I hope that it's helpful for you. And then maybe this is just the first step in the next leg of your journey as well. So to the actual content, it actually won't take a ton of time, but it's just some things I've learned along the way. And I think probably some of our other challengers and coaches have learned as well, is meal prep is a big deal. Knowing what you're going to have, when you're going to have it, makes a difference in your day. And it's not about over planning and missing out on life and not being able to be versatile. But when you're starting out, the more you prep, the more you plan, the better off you are. And then you learn it so that when you have those days are off and you don't have things in front of you, you can just think your way through it. Glenn and I can go to any restaurant, look at any menu, and know what we should and shouldn't have, how much of it by looking at a plate. And that monster of a man and I can pretty much share a meal at this point. Well, we're eating more than we ever have right now because of the program that we're doing. But we have learned so much about being able to still have a plan and still be versatile and enjoy our lives. We've modified a lot of our home recipes to make them cleaner, and that is like one of my passions. Like, give me a recipe. Give me the thing that you love the most that you don't want to miss out on, and I will find a way for you to eat it, still enjoy it, and maybe even become a little bit of a food snob so that you're not eating junk all the time. That's not really food. So we're going to eat real food, really good food. So what I did today was, I'm going to turn my screen here a little bit so you can see. Oh, I forgot to tell you, welcome to my ugly kitchen. I hate this kitchen so much to make it work. It's just horrible. We have this tiny condo, and like, this is it. Like, this is my kitchen. I lived in a tiny apartment downtown that had more space than this, but whatever. Anyway. So,
make it work.
2 things today, because if I'm going to turn the oven and the stove on, I'm going to make a couple things at the same time. If I can have things just cooking slowly, you can use a crock pot. I personally don't really like crock pots. It's this mental thing I have, but anyway. So I made beef stew and I made tomato sauce because I want to be prepared for the next few days. So we had beef stew for dinner, and what's in the pot is what's been cooling after dinner. And so my meal prep hack is one of those things that it's a small tip. It takes a few seconds and just a little bit of tweaking in your mind to rethink how you do things that can make a big difference in the days or weeks to come. So I also cook for an army. So whatever I'm making, I usually double it so that I have leftovers. I love to have leftovers because then I do things like this. I have all these crazy containers, tons of them, all different sizes. And both of these recipes came from my Fixate cookbook, which is based on the 21-Day Fix. Love it. Val, who has Fixate? Mare, Val, Nikki, Linda, Terry, we need to get you some Fixate.
I'm going to get one. Yeah, I'm going to get one.
Yeah, definitely. It's just really great recipes, very simple, and they are things that you love. It kind of like exactly what I like to do. It breaks down a lot of recipes that you already love. So anyways, so my tip is when you cook for an army, immediately when you're putting things away, break them down into individual servings. Don't, like when you used to like take big containers like this and you'd like put it in this big thing full slop and then throw it in your fridge, and then it's sitting there, and sometimes you go back to it and sometimes you don't, and there's a little bit left over and it gets forgotten and shoved in the back of the fridge and you throw it away. My grandmother's in my heart, and she says you don't waste food, right? There's starving people in China that need that food, right? I swear that's how I got fat, because she said that stuff to me. So anyways, so individual servings immediately, 2 to 4 of those go in my freezer from the get-go. Because if I have days that I'm going to come home and I don't know what I want for dinner, I don't have things made, I don't have things in the fridge, they're in the freezer. I don't want to prep things for lunches for work. I pull it out of the freezer the day before, let it thaw overnight in the fridge, and take it to work with me. So I like these Rubbermaid containers. These are my favorite. I even have some of these smaller ones for Mason. So I'll put a serving in the freezer or 2 for Mason, a couple for us, and then I'll put 2 or 3 servings in the fridge as well. And I'm going to do this with pasta sauce as well, because there's going to be that day that comes that I'm like, I really want pasta, or I want to make little pizzas, and I will use this sauce for all that stuff. I don't know the last time I bought store-bought sauce. It's so easy to make. I love the recipe. It tastes so good. It tastes fresh. And you don't have to sit and like crush tomatoes for hours or anything. But I will automatically freeze some servings of my pasta sauce as well. Put some in the fridge as well. And that way it's ready for me when I need it. Do you guys do this? Has anybody done this? Yes.
Yes.
New information to anybody? A little bit, kind of rethink just a little bit. I do the same thing with meals. So let me show you an example from, I think, like 3 or 4 days ago. I made turkey meatloaf, sweet potatoes, and green beans. I put it automatically in a serving in a good sized container. I know what is a proper serving for both of us. So turkey meatloaf, I have protein, a complex carb, and veggies already set. So whenever we, again, are planning meals for lunches, dinners, Glenn's taking stuff to work, he's getting home late from work, it's already set in there, and you're not taking, 5 or 6 different containers out and trying to make a meal. It's set for you, and that's half the battle, is just being able to think ahead. And when you're short on time, there it is. Does this make sense? Yes. Mm-hmm. You can throw people, and it's all set. Awesome. So I'm going to start actually doing this because I have to do this now because it's 9 o'clock at night. So. Questions?
Nope.
Info. I can do answer questions or anything. Ideas. Okay, fine. I'm going to put something on the spot. Kirsten, unmute yourself. Me.
Hello.
Hi. So, how have you felt about us doing our free challenge this week?
I love it. It's, even though the challenges are kind of small, it's a good jump start, and they're manageable.
Yes.
Especially trying to cram them in with my busy schedule, so I'm enjoying them.
And I think that's exactly it. Like, we all can say, well, I'm too busy to do this, I'm too busy to do that. We all are. Everybody is. But when it comes to meal prep, you can do this in like a day.
Yeah.
This on Fridays and Mondays. Like, those are my meal prep days. And then I'm set for the next few days. And there's, like 1,000 memes floating out there about like, what is it? A 30-minute workout is 40% or 4% of your day.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
You really can't argue with that. I mean, you can. I will. I'll whine and cry and bitch and complain, but I'll do it anyways because I know I need to, right?
Yeah.
So I think like
that's the mind frame I need to get to.
Yes. And that it is. It's just like you just have to get there. And that's where the support comes in. It really is. That's where having all these guys going, come on, because I'll say that. I do not want to do this shit today. I have. Yeah. How many times have you guys heard me say that? Yeah, plenty. Meredith, Nikki, yeah. Mm-hmm. Plenty. Yeah, because if somebody's going to complain, it's actually me. Oh, even Glenn, it's like, come on. I know. I will drag my feet and drag my feet. I need to do it, so I do. So, thank you. I'm so glad that you were able to participate with us. And
I'm so glad you chose me.
Absolutely. And honestly, most of us have kind of been able to get on board and do most of this through the 21-day fix. I really think that's been the game changer for us. What, Mayor Nikki, wouldn't you say that? It really is like, it's just such a different type of plan that's so maintainable.
Yeah.
Easy to turn into a lifestyle, and it's just how we've been able to kind of like schedule everything. I don't know. Terry and Linda are kind of new to it. Like, how are you guys feeling?
I'm okay. I've got a little different situation because I'm home by myself, for most part of the week. But again, I still have to prep my stuff because if I don't, then I'm just like kind of, the only accountability I have is myself, obviously. There's no one here to go, did you, like at least you have your husband. He knows when you're eating something, he's going to, even if he gives you a look, you might not say anything. But, and it's just kind of, for me, you would think it would be easier, but sometimes it's a little harder when you're here, you know. But I still have to do the same thing. I have to take and make my individual things, and I got to know exactly. Usually what I do a lot of times in the morning when I sit down to have my shake or whatever, I plan what I'm going to have to eat that day. I write it down. I stay with, because I want to stay with what I'm eating. I don't want to vary off the track because I've already got it all figured out.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, I mean, for me, you know, I've always known how to eat, and I've worked out ever since I can remember, you know. How I get this big, I don't really know. But you know, and I like, I always tell Meredith, my daughter, I said, I've been knowing how to eat forever.
Yeah.
It's not that. I said, but obviously it's how much.
Yeah.
You don't think you're eating that much. I mean, actually with these little containers, that's a lot of, when you take it, you put it in there and you dumped it out. I put my rice, the brown rice the other night in one container. I was like, oh God, that's nothing. But once I put it on my plate, like, oh my God, I couldn't even eat it. I could have wanted another one if I wanted to.
I know.
It was more food than you really think. And your stomach, I do notice now that I am getting full faster.
Okay.
Before, it was like when you first start the first week, you're going, oh my God, this is like I'm eating, you know, like how many vegetables can I cram into my mouth because I still am hungry, you know, to whereas now I'm in my third week and I'm thinking, God, I'm full. I'm good. You know, it's like I'm not looking for something. I'm not looking for something else.
Yeah. You're more satisfied.
And and if I am, I'm like, well, I got one more fruit I haven't eaten yet, or I've got, you know, I could have a little bit of yogurt with, you know, some fruit in it, or, you know, something like that. But it's like, no, I'm good. You know, I just have to drink my water and go, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm done.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Linda, how's it going for you? Oh, I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
I can't hear her either. Yeah.
Hold on, we can't hear you, honey.
There you go.
Somebody's feedback. I see your mouth doing this, but I can't hear nothing.
We can talk for, which is
Your lips are really good. We'll get it figured out.
she probably had what I did. Tell her to hit her microphone. Hit your microphone, because that's why mine was wrong with mine. I didn't hit my microphone.
Turned it on, but I wonder. We heard it earlier. I don't know.
Oh, good. Make a note.
I was gonna piggyback off your prepping for a minute and just say that a pivotal like turning point for me and just staying on track with my eating was making a grocery list and sticking to it every week. I used to go to the grocery store without a list. I'm not even sure what I was thinking, but I now never leave home without my list, and I even have saved so much money in groceries. I probably save $150 a month in groceries now, just because I felt like we never knew what we wanted, so we'd go to the grocery store every day. It was just a really bad habit to get into.
I cannot get it across people, and they have to experience it for themselves. So those of us who now live by Shakeology, like I didn't like shakes. I didn't like the idea of it. I was totally hesitant. I actually hated it when I tried it the first time. But the cost usually puts people off. And I can't explain to them that once you start doing all of this, the cost is made up by how much money you save at the grocery store and how much money you save by not eating out as much and getting coffees and pops and junk food and grabbing things at the gas station and drive-thrus, right? Mm-hmm. When Glenn and I did our first full year together, we had 2 Shakeologies coming to the house. We saved $3,000. Saved $3,000. How does that happen? I don't even know where that money was. Like, it was all in junk. It had to be. But it was all because we were preparing. We were utilizing the grocery list better. We were not wasting things. We were planning it and not just going to the store and getting random crap and then forgetting about it and letting it rot.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I had so many vegetables I would throw out. It was sickening after a week or two. And it just got to be like, oh my God, I have to do something because I feel terrible for wasting all this food. So, yeah.
It's just roll over in her grave.
Yeah.
No. Yes. I'm totally with you. And you can't tell people that is a reality. Like they actually have to experience that for themselves. Val, have you seen the difference in your groceries?
I think so. We've been trying to keep track of all that. So it comes out because we don't eat out as much. But I think groceries in general are a little more expensive because we're buying better food. Mm-hmm. But it pays off in the long run. Yeah. Because we're saving money elsewhere. So
absolutely. Well, you think about, you can buy, all the produce you need for a salad for the same amount of money, even though it does cost more than what you would usually do, maybe in the past. But it's the same that it costs to go out and eat. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're getting more out of it by preparing it at home. Believe me, I'm a foodie. I love to go out and eat and enjoy. But you do that stuff more where you enjoy it and you appreciate it a little bit more instead of the, I don't know. I feel like I could end up on a soapbox here for a second, but like, I think we take too much for granted in general. I think we overconsume, and we're not very mindful about the things that we do and don't do and what we have access to. And it kind of forces you to be mindful of the things that you're putting in your body and the abilities that you have, that you can make the stuff at home. You can appreciate going out. You can enjoy that a little bit more because it really is a privilege to be able to do all of that, I think. I don't know. That kind of goes to that more like deep-hearted part of me of, some of the background of this and what it has meant, this, what I call the cascade effect. You start to change your health, change your eating. It starts to change your family a little bit, and it changes you inside as well. It just starts to affect everything. It affects your finances. It affects you emotionally and mentally in a good way. So I don't know. That's just my experience. And I feel like the people that have stuck with it end up having the same experience, at least on some level. So I have a lot of pasta sauce to put away. Anything else? What?
They say though too, like when you start to eat better, that your body starts craving better foods. Absolutely. And I've noticed that too when I start, I usually eat pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I don't deprive myself with cheeseburger. If I want a cheeseburger, I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger. Right. I mean, let's be honest, we only live once. But to be honest, but I've noticed after, I'll start getting into the healthy eating and stuff like that, and then I'll eat a cheeseburger. It's like, wow, I can taste the processed and the salt in this, and it's like, ooh, this is a little too much. I can't eat it like I would say a month prior to when I was eating it more often and going out and getting lazy and stuff like that. But your body, your taste buds change once you start eating better.
Yeah, that's why I'm a chocolate snob. I'm a total chocolate snob. Like I just cannot eat like your general like Hershey's chocolate anymore because you can taste all the crap that they put in it now. Like Ghirardelli, a good dark Dove, and then there's a chocolate company here in Indy called Chocolate Spirit, and oh my God, like to die for chocolates, right? And they're expensive, but I don't eat that much, so I'll pay for it because it's good stuff, Yeah. But you're right. You start to taste the difference. You start to crave the difference, and what is that noise?
I don't know. It sounds like a timer's going off.
I know. You know what? I got an Uber ride.
Something's gonna blow.
Tracy's a bomb.
I had an Uber ride. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this one go.
up pretty soon. Pick it up.
That's what it sounds like if you drive for Uber. You have 15 seconds. It does. It startles you like, holy shit. I'm like, oh, I got an Uber ride. Should I take it? I'll let it go. But that's what happens. You have like 15 seconds to take it. It's like a game.
Tracy, you need to work. You need money.
I know. I'll take the next one. I know. I'm in between finding jobs, so this is my income right now.
I love it. You know, that's a whole nother subject. We have a girl that we used to work with that her brother has a master's degree and started doing just like Uber rides like for a summer between classes. He does that full time now. He makes more money doing Uber than he did in his full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it. There's money to be made.
Yeah, there is. There is.
So.
I was like, oh my God,
yeah, I was like, I'm like, oh shit. Timer's going off. This will self-destruct in 5 minutes.
Oh my God. Hilarious. I love it.
Oh, I thought your kitchen was going to blow up or something.
That would be wonderful if that would happen. Thank you. It'd be great. It's the only way I'm going to get this thing updated, I swear to God.
Right. Hey, I feel you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, you guys. I love this. Well, what else can I say or do? Do you have any questions? Tomorrow's our last day of our free challenge. I'm so sad, you guys. I've been really enjoying our time. I really have. So we're trying to, this is a learning process for us because Nikki, Meredith, Jenny, and I have never done a free group before, and I don't know, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It's just like the drive is just a little bit different, and I just love being able to share a little bit more detailed information with people, kind of let them see the inside of what we do on a daily basis inside our groups. And I've been really, really grateful to share that with you guys. So I hope that, again, this is just one of those small steps to the next part of your journey. And of course, I hope that you would continue it with me, but if that's not how it is, then that's fine. I'm glad to have been able to share with you and inspire you a little bit. But we would love, love, love to see you guys in our next round, which is February 8th. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. February 8th, we go live with our next full round of 21 days. So I'll talk to you guys about that in a little bit more detail. But yeah, I'm excited to see this next round come. So anyway. Well, I will cut you guys loose because it's late, and I'm thinking, let's see. It's okay, Linda. We love you for being here, totally. And we're hoping to do this as a monthly thing. So we'll have our free challenge invite people, and then if you're part of one of our groups, we'll invite you and give you the links and all that stuff too. So yes, Meredith says thank you to everyone. So, all right, guys. Well, go to bed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nicole. Bye, Nicole.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
You're so welcome.